Good evening, everyone. Good evening to everyone present here. Today, amongst us, we have the founders of Nuutjob, Miss Ananya Maloo and Miss Anushree Maloo. In February 2022, Miss Ananya and Anushree Maloo bagged a 25 lakh offer on Shark Tank India for their brand Nuutjob, a brand that sells male intimate hygiene products. Raised in a close-knit family, the sisters have entrepreneurial blood flowing through their veins. Miss Ananya Maloo kicked off her career in the entertainment industry, working as a marketing professional before switching gears to public relations. Ms. Anushree Maloo, on the other hand, ran business operations for modular kitchen company, which unfortunately got sidelined amidst the pandemic. It's an honor for us to have you here. We look forward to your company this evening. I, Satyanidhi Mehra,
And me, Advaita Sharma.
we are the hosts of today's event. So to kick off with it, we would want to know how are you doing today?
Hi, Satyanidhi, hi Advaita, and hi everybody at the Leo Club. Happy to be a part of this conversation where Anushri and I not just talk to you about our journey, but also in a very small way hope to inspire anybody that wants to make a difference. Whatever in whatever small way whenever I am talking to a lot of students, there are lots of questions that come up, about entrepreneurs and how do we plan to be entrepreneurs. I think I'm so happy that maybe we could also talk about it, but on another level, connect as young Indians and just maybe lightly talk about it and in whatever way inspire you.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So, all of us, everybody here is definitely eager to know what Nuutjob is all about. What are the different products you all offer, and what are your respective roles in this company?
So, Nutjob, as you introduced as, that it's a male intimate hygiene brand. So, we came up with this idea during lockdown only. So Ananya and I come from a joint family. We stay together. So we experienced that during lockdown. It was summertime and lockdown because you are staying at, you constantly at home for 24 hours 7, and so we saw that our fathers were using talcum powder and it was a mess in the bathroom because we had to clean it. So daily routine you really don't see it because the servant takes care, but because of it was lockdown we didn't have any servant and we had to clean it. So we saw that they are using talcum powder and we initiated a discussion that why are you using talcum powder so much, and they were like, it's summertime, you won't understand, we need it or something like that. So uh, it was dodged. Then again, after some time later, like after 2 3 days, again we questioned them, why are you using? And then the discussion came that because it's required there to keep your intimates dry, and because it's sweaty, it's summer. So just to keep them cool and dry, you need something like that. And then we researched that is there any replacement for talcum powder, because it's you apply and it just goes off. It falls on the floor, so it really doesn't stay. So we came up and we researched, but there was nothing in India which was a replacement to a talcum powder or something like that, or moisturizer or a lotion kind of thing. But in US or Europe countries, they had something similar to replacement to talcum powder, and that then we Ananya and I decided that we want to get something in something like this in India, because it's uh, it's 1 second. Am I audible? I think I lost my connection.
Yeah, now you're.
I think there's a connection error on her end. So what I'd do is carry forward from where she said. When we did research, we found that there was a market gap that existed regarding male
Sorry, I
intimate.
lost my connection.
Yeah. Okay, Anush, you can carry on. I was just filling in.
Yeah. So then we figured it out that it was needed in India as well, and then we tried to figure out, and we talk to our male friends and family that whether you will use a product like this. But initially they were not open. They were like, why do we need something like this? मतलब इतने साल तक के चल ही रहा था ना, तो why do you think now we need something like this? And there's where that is where we, Ananya and I, thought people will need so much education, so much information about this, that male intimate hygiene has to be a daily routine, like how females take care of their intimates, because we have periods, because of discharges and everything. But same, males have to be aware about it, and have to be okay by for using something like that. So here we started our journey like this, where we initially had to educate so much, we had to inform people so much, we had to spread the word that something like this is available in the market, and start using it. So there are brands who still are just catering to male intimate wash. But we first time in India got a intimate deo spray. We got a liquid powder, intimate liquid powder. So here we have, this is how we started our journey. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, like, what was the inspiration behind the name and the logo?
So we actually did, it's a very fun story. The night of just one night, we decided to, just maybe mull over something and think of a few names. We wanted the brand to be fun. Now the idea about Nuutjob and Anushree and our researching was to make a fun brand, to make a brand that's something that people associate with. We didn't want to play it safe. We didn't want anything to be oh, let's hush hushly talk about it, or have a name that nobody really knows what the company really does. So just one night, Anushri, my dad, a friend of ours, we just sat in a room and we got super crazy. Whoever comes up with the best name, we went a little crazy and started booking domains on GoDaddy. Okay, like, oh, this sounds nice, this sounds nice. And just very weirdly, I think my father came up with the name Nuutjob, and he said, don't keep it one U, keep it as W. I'm like, why would you want to keep it as W? Ananya, don't you get it? And like, oh, the two U's are what signify testicles, and that's how we got onto the name for Nuutjob. I'll tell you very funny. I'll tell you, we had funny names such as Donuts. We had Anushri. Do you remember others?
I remember nut job, nut work. So
Nut
nut
work.
work, nut work. So we were playing with the words basically.
Yeah, I think it was a very fun night, and you know what,
Two nuts,
Nuutjob was.
two nuts, donuts. So yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? Nut job really signifies or means crazy. Okay, and that's exactly how we plan to go about our brand. I think that is our approach in general. How we plan to be crazy, be OTT, but also educate. That's the main idea about what nut job really is. I think that's how a lot of people also remember us, because we did something that was very crazy on Shark Tank India, which is how we got to be a brand that a lot of people maybe cringed at first, but also resonated once we did start speaking. So that's exactly what we plan to do: bring in education while subtly masking it with humor. So that's what Nut Job really is. So that's the story behind Nut Job, and I think till date, I think we've got so many people who tell us great, great name. I think it's all my dad who thought of it, and super glad that he came up with an idea. We had very vanilla names then, so yeah.
That's nice. And your marketing strategies have been very unique, starting from the humor on Shark Tank to your Instagram memes and jokes. It's been very good. So, like, how did you come up with those ideas?
Like I mentioned, while we were researching, what we thought, what's a taboo thing? While Anushi said that when we'd asked our friends, Ki, would you use a product like this? We realized that there was an underlying embarrassment to men talking about something like this. Okay, so we thought, what is something that men are also uncomfortable talking about? Leave men, but just people in general. We figured it's sex. Who is addressing sex in a very fun, in a manner where people are talking about? So obviously condoms come in to play, and we figured which are the condom players that are doing it differently, who's garnering our attention. I figured to get the Sunny Leone is maybe grabbing her attention because she looks hot, but maybe that's not for all women, maybe men, but not all women. What is something that's really hitting the audience? We figured Durex is the one that's hitting the audience because they're teaching you about it. They don't have any sexuality in their marketing things. They've got sexual humor, so they're using a lot of puns. That is exactly what we really wanted to do through Nut Job, कि यानी आप information डाल रहे हो but लोगों को हंसा भी रहे हो. So exactly what we wanted to do through Nut Job was to do what Durex is doing, and how subtly they're talking about safe sex while they're also addressing whatever's happening around. But it's moment marketing, it's meme marketing, and that's exactly what we plan to do. Educate while making you laugh.
Right, so this is such an interesting thing to know. And in also one of your interviews, you did mention that your first milestone was when you got like 100 orders on Amazon in one day. So how did you feel in that moment?
I think Anushree and I jumped, like on the 98th order. Anushree was like, please, आज 100th order, आज दो order आ जाए, आज दो order आ जाए, and उसी दिन आ गए थे दो orders, and we went crazy. The first order also, I think we celebrated. Anushree and I were jumping around when we got our first order also. I'm like, यार हमने advertise नहीं किया, कुछ नहीं किया. How did this guy come to know us also? But I think it's the keywords that they were searching. Till Shark Tank happened, and even now we haven't really spent any money on advertising on Amazon or anywhere else. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen any ads that come up for Nut Job, because we've never really pushed out anything. We've done conversation where I feel are really important for me to explain what our product really does before I start advertising what it is, which is why I really like talking to the audience also while it happens, because that makes me make them understand what this product really is capable of doing. So I think that is where we got super excited. Yeah, people are definitely searching for something like 100 orders. Had nobody been searching for it, it was a validation of sorts ki log search kar rahe, logo ko ye problem hai, and we're here to cater to it. Something that I've also mentioned in my interviews, Anushri and I very strongly believe that it took two vaginas to change the ball game, and it's really important to take charge, like what Namita also said, women taking charge. I would say, if you believe in an idea, bhale taboo ho or whatever, and if you think that this could bring about a change, go for it, run behind it and make it happen.
Yeah, that's amazing to be honest. And like, yeah, like as you said, that men's intimate hygiene is so sort of taboo. Okay, so like, what were you worried that how society would react to two girls starting a company about something related to this?
um Wait, Anushri is trying to join in, but she says the meeting's full, she can't join in. Sorry, could you maybe let her in?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, could you please ask her to like join it again?
I'll ask her, just give me a second.
Sure.
There she is, the other nut. Okay, so while I was, I'm sorry, could you maybe ask me a question again, Satyanidhi?
Yeah, yeah. So, like, men's intimate hygiene is considered a sort of taboo in the society, as you told us before. So, like, were you worried in the first place that what will society think about two girls starting a company about this?
Big time, when we started a company like this, Anushri and I was scared, uh, really scared, like what would people really think, what would our parents also maybe think about it. My mother and Anushri's mother, they were also a little skeptical in the beginning, ki, is this something that you girls really want to do? we figured that there was a market gap and we wanted to bridge it. Okay, our fathers understood it because they were the ones who really needed a product like this, and they saw that okay, maybe these girls, if they're given the right kind of support, can maybe do something, can bring about a change. Our fathers, on the other hand, were very easy to please. Our mothers weren't. But over a period of time, when they saw that Anushri and I was so passionate about a cause like this, what we really wanted to get through Nuutjob, they started believing in the brand a little. You know, Anushri and I come from a very privileged set of family differently as compared to men, where they've let us uh, do what we want to do. Okay, in the sense, I'd say privileged in the sense of how they really think about things and how they accept things. You know, my grandfather, my fathers. When you're in a Marwadi family or maybe like a more patriarchal setup, they usually do dictate on what women really do. They've never, my grandfather has always, you know, pushed us to, keep doing whatever that we want to do. He's always been this one person who's been a, constant cheerleader. And I am really grateful for somebody like him to have the kind of force that he brings to our company also. I'd like to, just mention when we were watching Shark Tank, he cried when he saw his granddaughters there, and it's a big thing. Okay, it's a big thing because uh, I've never seen my grandfather cry. He's always been this one really strong person, and the moment that he cried, I realized that Anushri and I had done something that really uh, uh, not demanded him to react in a way that compelled him to react like this. It's very I don't know. It was very surreal for Anushri and I to have seen that. So, going back to your question, yes, we did face a lot of people who said, no, Ananya and Anushri, don't do this. Because Anushri and I come from a Marwari setup, and we come from Ahmedabad. I wouldn't say that Ahmedabad's not a city that does not dream big. Look at Narendra Modi. But I'm just saying, uh, we never had friends who'd done something like this. We never had people around us who'd questioned a lot of things in the society. So Anushri and I were a little, scared when we did start off. There was a relative actually. I'd tell you, ki, there was a relative who told us, ki, listen, pull down your photos from the website. It's not something what good Marwadi girls. This is not a business that good Marwadi girls should be doing. Fuck Marwadi girls, but good girls should not be doing something like this. I'm sorry I used the word fuck, but got into the emotion of it. But Anushri and I really believed that we wanted to do this, and I told my mother, listen, don't listen to people who don't really believe in us. Also, at that time, they were looking for guys for us for marriage. So they said ki, yeah, don't put this in your biodata. It's not something that maybe you won't get good matches. I told my mother, listen, this is the biggest red flag. Eliminate people who are not okay with this. Why would you want your daughter to go to a family where they're not really being your cheerleaders or not uplifting you? Anushri has gone to a family. She just got married, by the way, and she's gone to a family where her father-in-law at the wedding was talking about her business. And it's amazing to see, it's really nice to see a certain change wherein I've seen guys who said ki don't do this, uh, or whatever. To see people celebrate women like this is what I'm really happy about. So uh, exactly, Urva, that is exactly what breaking guard does with their lives if there's anything that really happens. So super super grateful for that. And I think charity begins at home. I think it began at us. So you guys could be the precursors of change if you start supporting people in your house or your friends. That is something that I'd really like to say. Long answer to your very brief question, but quite emotional on something like that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Pooja.
absolutely. Glad to know all of this, that you've grown out of all these difficulties and reached here. And also, I think we all congratulate you for your wedding.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, and now that we like talked about Shark Tank, we did see your pitch there, and it was very interesting. And on that, you did mention that your parent company is manscaping. So, like, is there any future ventures? What are your plans for like future goals, etc.?
So as we told on the show also that Aman highlighted कि एक point पे तो तुम्हारा company रुक जाएगा मतलब intimate hygiene को कितने products लेके आओगे or something. So there also we mentioned that our company, a brand is called Nuutjob, but our company name is Manscape Wellness Private Limited. So there's so after certain like still we have products lined up for intimate hygiene only focusing on intimate hygiene, but once we are done with intimate hygiene, we want to grow for grooming as well for men, but it strictly caters to men. The company strictly caters to men,
But we've
and
got
we want
something for
female.
women. We've got
Yeah, yeah.
something for women which launches today. If you guys are really, I would really like for you guys to maybe look at our website after you guys are done. You know, so many women came and told us about this, and we launched it for them. And
Yeah.
please tell
It
us
was
your
not
views
planned,
about
but
all of
these
this.
females were asking that can we use this product as this or something like
We
that.
got
So
them
now,
formulated
oh
for them.
yeah, yeah, for females we got them
It's a
formulated, and now
totally different product than what we are offering, but oh god, you guys have to try it. It's amazing. And we launched it today, by the way. So yeah, what a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations for that also. We'll definitely try.
Yeah, congratulations. Shark Tank has definitely been a blessing in disguise. So, like, where did the idea come from that you were supposed to go to Shark Tank? And, like, were you nervous?
Yeah, we were, but you know what? Everybody in our family loves Shark Tank. We've always watched the international versions of it, and it was my grandfather who pointed out. He was watching TV and he saw an ad which says inviting applications for Shark Tank India, and he said, "Ki Shark Tank India aa raha hai." So what we thought is season 13 is coming to India. Maybe it'll come up on TV. एंड वी सेड कि अच्छा नहीं वो उसका सीजन 13 आ रहा है वही आ रहा है नहीं नहीं बोला कि एप्लीकेशन चाहिए इंडियन कंपनी के लिए ढूंढ रहे and then we lost our mind. We applied to Shark Tank immediately. It was in June that we did that. Sorry, July, right? July is when we applied to Shark Tank, and that is exactly when we'd also uh, started with our own company. It was in July that we listed our products on Amazon, and it was after that we saw a hundred figure sale, 100 number sale. Sorry. Uh, and I think our growth trajectory. That we also learned a lot about what goes into pitching your brand to the investors. You've just begun. You're a baby, and you get to know that these are the steps that go into the making of a that go into the making a company a little bigger and having more people on board. So yeah, I think that is what really happened, and so glad that we got an offer from all five sharks. Like I mentioned, we weren't really expecting it. If you guys, remember, Anushree and I also cried. I'll tell you why we cried. Because, everything that had transpired before that, where there were people who were telling us, don't go, this is not a business that we do. So much that we'd heard, a lot of these things pile on over a period of time. On the day of our shoot, there are 9 pitches that are shot in a day. So we were supposed to pitch on the seventh number, and prior to that, everybody who'd gone in before us hadn't got the investment. There were 2-3 companies where Ashmir had gotten super angry at the founders because they were maybe fassing, or he'd caught them, you know, just caught them mid sentence or whatever. So. Yeah, okay. I'll come to Keshav's question after that. Sorry. So that happened, and while you're shooting it, the entire bit is shot into two parts. Two parts wherein you're entering the tank, and once when you're in the tank. So because they've got this camera issue. So while we were shooting for that tunnel bit, Anushree and I were about to push the door. Okay, and they told us, listen, don't go in. I said, why? What happened? Because the way he said it was really weird. And he said, listen, don't go in. I'm getting something. There's a lot of shouting on the, headset. like what happened? And then he told, listen, आपको भागना पड़ेगा सेट पे, इज नॉट अ डे, एक तो किसी को पैसे नहीं मिल रहे सुबह से, एंड this is what is happening, and they rushed us out of the set. You know, it was a minor spark, but they need to take precautions, right? It's a huge set, they need to take minor precautions, whatever little spark that there is. We came out, and Anushri and I were in a really bad mood ki yaar, it's not a good day for us to pitch. You know, a lot of things that, you know, we don't want to be superstitious in whatever way, but so many things that happen, or you keep thinking ki maybe, you know, it's not a good day. It's just us overthinking, or it's me overthinking for sure. So what happened is, ma'am, our father was there with us, and I think his words really rung a bell for us, where he said कि तुम ऐसे मत सोचो कि कुछ रॉन्ग है, तुम ऐसे सोचो कि तुमने जाने से पहले ही स्टेज पे आग लगा दी है. So you're starting afresh. So that is what really happened, and Anushri and I went in, and when we saw that everybody was accepting our you know, while we were shooting inside, when we saw that all the sharks were really accepting what the idea is. Once you know whatever hardship that you've gone through, you just simply cry, you know. Anushri and I have always made fun of people ki yaar ye kya reality TV show pe rona dhona ho raha hai. But you know, in that moment, Anushri and I realized that maybe it's just, you know, a lot of overwhelming feeling that just comes to you. So nothing that is, you know, scripted कि आप अंदर जाके रोगे, ये करोगे, वो करोगे, but it just came out so naturally because everything that happened, our baby that where we'd heard people saying that you wasted your money, coming into you know, coming into a scenario where all five sharks are offering you a deal was crazy. So I think that is what transpired in the tank, but truly, truly grateful for everything that we've learned on the way. So that's our Shark Tank journey for you.
It's so interesting to know that after all of this, all the five sharks gave you the camera. So they say you can take 2 minutes and go and think. So what exactly do you think in that time? Just like a curiosity question.
So, you know, nothing on Shark Tank is scripted, you know, except a 3 minute pitch, which is the beginning of every pitch, that is, because you need to be the best salesman that you are on national television. You need to pitch your brand right in those 3 minutes. That's the only script that you know of certain that's going to happen in the tank. And that is something that you need to prepare. We prepared our pitch, we wrote it down, we did everything for it, and that is the only thing that's scripted. Once you go into the tank, it's a good 1.5 hour, 1 hour 45-minute discussion with the sharks that is only shown for 10 minutes on national TV, because obviously they can't so you can't really show it on national TV. So that is something that happened, and what they ask you are real investor questions because they really want to know what's really happening. You know, once you've set the ball rolling and once you see ki, the sharks are really understanding what you do, we started off on a very fun note. They were really interested in what the brand is. So there was a certain vibe that was going on between all of us. Anushri and I was super scared that Ashneer will take our case. He's really gonna be meano to us. But I think him and Anupam were a super, you know, our cheerleaders throughout. I think Ashneer also defended us. Anupam on various occasions defended what we were trying to do. And I think that's super nice. And, you know, once we came out of the tank, something that Anushri and I said, shit, we should have also taken Ashneer and Anupam on our, you know, investor panel. But I think that is what happens. But, you know, a lot of questions are things that cannot be shown on national TV because they investor company secretive, and there are certain things that Sony can show on TV. So the conversation goes on for about an hour and a half, and then Sony decides what they want to keep and what they don't want to keep. Certain company information is not allowed to go out of the tank, but it is important for the sharks to make a certain decision if they want to invest in the company or not. So the checks that they give you are not real checks. They do a due diligence on your company. What a due diligence is कि आपने जो टैंक में बोला है, they will verify all of those claims, and then, you know, they'll check your background, they'll do a company, they'll do a bank research and everything, and then they'll invest money in you. It's only after that, and that's still going on, by the way. So it's a tedious process. So ऐसा नहीं होता कि टैंक में जाके 1 घंटे में आप पैसे लेके आ जाओ. But yeah, I think they do due diligence, and if you pass it, it's done when you get the money. So that is something that happens. But super super stoked to have this sharks on board.
Okay, that's something new to all of us, and it's pretty interesting. So, like, COVID affected a lot of businesses. So, like, were you affected in that at that point of time?
Not really. We're a COVID startup,
Yeah,
so we started only
exactly.
last year. So it was COVID that gave us the idea to start a brand like this.
Yeah,
So
but
we
still,
got
like,
a
was
COVID.
it
It
difficult for you guys to implement the idea? And like as your sister, so we all know, there are sister quarrels and everything. So, how did you guys manage it?
So how we manage is we have divided our jobs at the work. So Ananya takes care of PR, marketing, communications. I take care of operations. I take care of finance. So we have divided our work, our roles in the company, and that is how we set us skills in those areas only, that like Ananya is good with PR and communication, so she puts her skills in that. I take care, I get the work done from the people, from the company, like from the accounts, from logistics and everything. So that is how the roles have been divided. Other than that, yes, we both are updated of the things going on different levels also. So I know, like, okay, Ananya is talking to these people for PR, or Ananya knows that I am starting something of for this software, or this paying money here or something. So of course the roles, you are briefed about whatever it is going on, but of course you manage. You don't have to put, you know everybody cannot do everything. So you really need to divide the roles, and every day is a learning for us. Every day we come to the office, and something new happens, like on the platform. Maybe something new happens on Amazon, or something, a customer has a new query, or a customer has a new doubt, or some written or whatever it is going on. So everything, every day is a new learning for us, a new challenge for us, and that is how we overcome and we learn from that. ठीक है आज ये चीज हुआ है, so next time when this same thing happens, you know exactly where to go and how to do it.
Right. With that being said, as of now, we do see like there are many V-wash advertisements that we see on TV and whatnot. So, why do you think male hygiene products are not really seen in such cases? Like, would you want to have more advertisement about male hygiene products?
We will start now for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll start now because the segment was not addressed earlier in India. Like Anushree also mentioned initially, when we started off, there were only intimate washes in the market, and that was only by companies that were doing something for female intimate hygiene. So it was just an added SKU for them. They weren't focusing their company कि चलो male intimate hygiene पे ही focus करते, which is why we started Nuutjob. We wanted to focus on a segment that was not given a lot of attention, but really is a need here in India. I'd say everybody, every 100, all the 100 people over here, would in their life seen a guy. I don't mean to shame any of the guys over here, but it's just something that's a behavioral trait. In the sense, might have seen a guy scratching his balls, okay, maybe in public or wherever at home. So these are things that definitely, this is a hygiene issue. So that is something that we wanted to address. Ki yaar, we've seen so many people do that, but nobody's really spoken about it. So which is why we wanted to talk about it. And now that nut job has happened, I'm sure we'll start advertising and speaking about it in a way that people also get to know. But baby steps, obviously, that going on national TV with an advertisement takes a lot of time. That's a lot of money that goes in, but obviously we'll build our way up. There are lots of brands that are now coming into this segment. So I'm sure with after a period of time, this will be a segment that's addressed.
That's nice. Like, we're excited to see all of this. So now that we know a lot about Nuutjob, now we'll want to know Maloo Sisters a bit more. So, like, for Miss Anushree, so how do you manage both of these?
So it was not it was not really a startup. I joined it, and I was handling operations there. So of course, it was a new field for me also. Going in designing, going in furniture, it was a new thing for me as well. But here, for but there also, I was focused to learn that I want to learn something like this, or I want to learn designing, because I don't have a background of designing. I am not an architect or an interior designer. I don't have a background. But then again, yeah, holding a degree of management, and like I was trying to get work done from the people there, and uh, set of responsibility was given to me that so these projects you have to take care, you have to go on the sites, you have to get the things done at the factory level, you need to coordinate with tempo guys, with factory people, with manufacturer, with raw material, whatever the client, of course, client uh, interface also. But yeah, exactly, this helped me, and now those skills what I developed there, I try to put it at Nuutjob now, like certain you learn from your past experiences, from your past jobs. So those skills you try to put where you are right now. So I have been doing that, and it was a good journey, I would say. And early, before that, I was working at a travel agency, so again a different field, again a different learning for me. So I have been through different fields, and I think now I was working under somebody, but now I am working for myself. I've started my own journey.
That's really nice, and like I'm pretty sure that must be a good experience for you also.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, so the percentage of women do expect us to, get married and settle down. So, like, how did you have the courage to stand up against that stereotype, and how does it feel to have it broken?
So why is less number of females after? Because I think people really don't take females to seriously, that they want to start something of their own. Because one, at certain age you need to get married. So once you finish your college and you try to that you want to start something, or like you are the age of 23, 24, and people in our society expect a girl to get married by 25, 26, and families start searching for boys, and sort of. So there again, girls lack, because they have certain responsibility. Now they have to get married, they cannot invest money, and they people try to hold them back, basically. And again, once the even if you start expect me to have a child, so again, it will be like, once she has a family, once she has a child, how will she manage her business? So again, this question comes, and again, people try to hold back. And I would say women also try to think that I think it's not going to happen, because after 5 years I have to put this thing aside, and I have to get involved, I have to take responsibility.